think I was about 5 years old. We moved to the projects. It's probably like 1975. We moved to the projects. We moved over there off of in between Second and Third, right below Center.
I'd rather sit shotgun and see dog 6-4 with Kiko, T-sticks, Lil rockin' out, so rolling up some cool trees, sipping on a 40. But damn, all my homies rest in peace.
What they call you, where you from, nigga? What they call you, where you from, nigga?
What they call me and where I'm from? Shit, niggas call me all kind of shit, man. Just call me Big J, J Capone, Cap Wizzle. Niggas call me like all kind of shit, man. Even fucking Single had a nickname for me, Agent Blunt. So, you know, shit, niggas call me all kind of shit. But yeah, my hood name is J Capone though. Shit, where was I born and raised? Shit, I was born in Harbor City at Kaiser Hospital. And I was raised the beginning of my life. I was raised in Wilmington on the west side, right across the streets from the projects, because that's where my grandmama lived. And after that, I think I was about 5 years old. We moved to the projects. It's probably like 1975. We moved to the projects. We moved over there off of in between Second and Third, right below Center, over there by Shane Kenner, Big Tron. You know what I mean? Right there on that block. Oh, shit, I went to a few elementary schools, man. I started off going to Hawaiian Avenue. Shit, me and the G homie Pat Bone was at Hawaiian Avenue at the same time. Yeah, I was there all the way until 4th grade, and then 5th grade I went to Barton Hill. In 6th grade I went to South Shores. Oh God, I started off at Dana, and then I went to Wilmington Junior High. Both of those was 7th grade. Got booted out of Dana, so went to Wilmington, got booted up out of there. And then I went to Dotson, because none of the Bloods up there in Wilmington wanted to let me go to school, I guess. Or maybe I was just trying to be too hard for my own good. Then I got kicked out of there and went to Fleming. Didn't last there long. They brought me back to Dana. That was like my last year I went to Dana, 9th grade, so yeah, I was all over the Harbor area. I think I went to every school within a 30-mile radius of my home. There's pretty much only Bloods up there. There was probably like 2 niggas, 3 niggas that wasn't, but I didn't know none of them niggas, and the only thing I did is just said, fuck everybody, nigga. I'm from Dodge, you know what I mean? Back then, matter of fact, I was from Baby Mobsters. That was all it was. So nothing else really mattered at that point. Oh, them niggas was from Waterfront. Very few was from Ghost Town, because them niggas had to get kicked out of Wilmington Junior High to go to Dotson, or they caught the bus over there in front of the projects on the west side to get bussed over there. But they had to travel all the way from the east side to get to the west side to get on the bus. Who said I graduated? I got a GED in prison, nigga. Shit, nigga, I would have loved to have graduated and walked across the stage with some of the homies. Shit, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know which one of the homies graduated. Keeping it 100. Shit. I know for a fact I wasn't one of them. Shit, I got my GED in 92. Well, it was probably 91 in what was that correctional facility, Donovan. I took the test one time, passed that shit, nigga, and was like happy for it. I said I never even studied for that motherfucker. I just took the fucking test. When I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, I used to run around with a black golf hat flipped up, and I had City Crips written on the front. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. I was just acting like a gangbanger. Cause I used to watch the big homies out there, just looking at them niggas. I was like infatuated with the life already. That was like 76. Yeah, it was like 76, 70. Matter of fact, we'll say 8. I was 8 years old. About 78, probably 79, somewhere up in there. When I was in 6th grade, I used to act like I was Crippin', but I wasn't Crippin'. I used to act like it. Then, shit, I was just talking about, nigga, I was from 2nd Street. I wasn't even saying I was from Dodge City because the big homies was from 2nd Street at that time. But the GG homies was from Dodge City. Smokey, Nook, I don't know. There was a couple other motherfuckers then too. I want to say Kenny Fraze, but Kenny Fraze was the younger. He was the younger one of his brothers. Fuck. Philip. I don't think Philip was actually banging, but Kenny Fraze's big brothers actually had hands like a motherfucker, because those niggas was probably the only niggas that Kenny Fraze, I never seen that nigga roar up on. Like, really, Kenny Fraze never really roared up on anybody. Kenny Fraze, like, he subtly checked niggas. You know what I mean? But yeah, Cuz was around then too. You know what I mean? All the niggas was around way before Phil Jefferson. Phil Jefferson is a true motherfucking, true G by every fucking letter of the fucking G-ism, right? But he looked up to these other niggas. You know what's crazy? Back then, I didn't look up to one homie. I just seen niggas the way they got down. Them niggas was not running from nobody. They was taking all fades, and I was like, shit, that's the kind of shit that I'm like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, back in the day, Shane Kenner had the best hands. Dean Chapman was the only motherfucker that was able to, you know, whoop Shane ass. And that was my god brother, Shane. So I was like, shit, I gotta be like squabbling like this nigga, you know what I mean? And I'm watching these older niggas, and like, niggas wasn't turning down none. Anybody could catch the hands. Win or lose, you gotta slam them. And I was like, you know, that mentality was pressed into my head. Baby Mobsters was a clique underneath 2nd Street Mob. We was like influenced by them. Them niggas, they taught us don't run for nobody. Them niggas taught us how to hustle. You know what I mean? And them niggas wasn't going to jail. At first, them niggas wasn't going to jail. So we didn't know shit about jail. We didn't know the repercussions of the shit that we was doing. But we was just in it to win it. But yeah, we was up under them niggas right there. The 84 class, Dre, Said, Moski, for real, Moski. That's the G homie right there. I always got love for that nigga. I'm 3rd generation. You got Die City Crips and you got 2nd Street Mobs, and then you got my clique, Baby Mobsters. I'm 3rd generation, but I grew up and I seen a lot, but to say when it started, I don't know, man. I can't even call it. I would like to say 77 or something like that. But I know the big homies, they will tell you different because they grew up in it. They were like fucking teenagers then. I was a fucking kid. I wasn't even a teenager. I was like a legit child. You know what I mean? A child. So my view of what life was and what I seen was totally different than their view. Yeah, because, you know, I was the youngest baby mobster. I'm thinking I was the youngest baby mobster because me and Lil Crip is the same age. I'm gonna tell you the niggas that kicked it off. You know what I mean? I give it up for A-Ski, motherfucking Fish Head. Always, obviously, Fish Head. Also, and honestly, I don't even know why Doobity wasn't a baby mobster. Him and KG, I don't know why they wasn't. Reggie, baby mobster. Shane Kenner, baby mobster. Dean Chapman, he used to be D Capone. Frank and Franz Carter, I don't even know them niggas' nickname, because like I said, you know, they was just some cool niggas, but they was down there. Shit. Oh, another one of the OGs was Duke. We used to call a nigga Sir Duke. He used to break dance. He was from New York, but he moved down there to the hood. He was a Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? He was a cool motherfucker. Vince Colon. I like that nigga. He was a cool motherfucker, man. Real shit. He was just a real cool ass nigga, man. And he's still alive. Tana. Shit. I know there's gonna be some people who I forget. Even, you know what? Even Stephen Sam was a lightweight baby mobster. I don't remember the nigga really getting quartered on or nothing like that. And I don't remember him actually saying he's some baby mobsters. But he hung with us. He was one of them niggas that he hung with us. Shit. Oh man, I don't know how the fuck I almost forgot Big Sticks. Big Sticks, true baby mobster nigga. Real one. That nigga was a real is a real one. The projects was a city within a city. It was an environment within an environment. If we would have had bigger grocery stores down there and near the projects or closer to the projects, a lot of niggas would have never left the projects. I remember, and this is some real ass shit right here. I remember one of the big homies got out of prison and wore out 2 pairs of shoes on the same block and never left that fucking block. Like, until he went back for a violation. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna say cuz his name, because, you know, I don't feel like, you know, lightweight disrespecting the big homie, because I actually liked the nigga. He was a cool motherfucker to me, you know what I mean? So, but you know, he was on his shit, you know what I mean? I ain't just a bashing nigga. But yeah, me and him, we was actually locked up together. But yeah, growing up in the projects, like I said, it's a city within a city. Like, you have everything down there, man. It was like across the street, like literally across the street from the projects, you walk to the end of the block, everybody went to Spirals, which is on 3rd and Pacific. Everybody went to Spiral. Everybody went to Mundo's Liquor. Back in the day, we used to go to Farmer Boys Market down there off of Beacon. Like, we had like a few stores, but they weren't big stores like Ralph's and all that shit. But if we would have had more stores, motherfuckers would have supported them stores, and we would have never fucking really left the fucking projects unless we was going to school. Because there was no real schools there. Like, there was no real elementary schools close by. Everything was like a distance. It was like in the other neighborhoods. Man, every motherfucking day was a party. Niggas didn't even want to go to school. Like, on some real shit, niggas went to school. Like me, for instance, I'm gonna say me, right? I went to school, did all my classwork, and if they assigned homework, I wasn't doing it. As soon as I got out of school, it was like, fuck them books, I'm not taking shit home. I'm going down to the hood, I'm supposed to go slang some weed, some dope, whatever the fuck I had to do. And that was before niggas started really slanging dope. You know what I mean? Because I was selling dope, but I didn't dive right into selling dope. You know what I mean? I used to watch The Corner, but I really wasn't there selling dope like that. You know what I mean? And so when I say selling dope, I'm talking about crack. So I started really selling crack. Yeah, as a matter of fact, my first year of high school, I used to sell the joints though before that. I used to sell single joints in the first year of high school. But yeah, back in the projects though, it was just strictly fun. I remember underneath the tree that was across the street from from Dre's house, man, there used to be so much shit that go on there behind Stanley's truck. The colors that he got it painted. There's so much shit to go. I mean, it was just a good fucking scene every fucking day. Like, niggas would go to the store and go get cases of 40 ounces and just pass them out to everybody. Everybody had money. Everybody had like weed. And niggas that did other shit, most of them niggas kept it on the low. Yeah, and everybody that wasn't family, they was fucking niggas from the people. They was fucking niggas from the family that had a big families. You know what I mean? So they were weaving the web of making a larger tapestry, which was a larger family. Everybody fucking related. You know what I mean? And it was, yeah, that was crazy. I think me, Bubs, Big Time. There was a few of us. You know what I mean? That wasn't in the family. You know what I mean? You had Stephen Gibson, his family. You had Nook. Nook had a big family. Meaty Bone, which is the G homie Don Scoggins. Like, you know, they had a big ass family. Like, there's a lot of niggas that had big ass families, my nigga, and everybody else, we just mingle with them. You know what I mean? And all of that shit was just, it was just a hood. But we just mingled with them. But yeah, it started off a bunch of different, it's like, you know how like you have those quilts? Like, it's like, our hood was like patchwork quilts. Like, you had a patch of a family here, a patch of a family here, a patch of a family here, and then that shit turned into a fucking whole quilt, and it covered the bed. It covered the whole it covered everything. You know what I'm saying? It covered us all. You know, and that was some cool shit. The way everybody mingled in with one another. You know what I mean? There was a lot of niggas that just, like, for niggas that was on the outside, like Zonk, for instance. Zonk had love from a few niggas, but he didn't have a big family in the hood. He was like us. You know what I mean? He didn't have a big family in the hood, but his family was good. So, you know what I mean? He wove into that tapestry. You know what I mean? There was a lot of niggas like that, cause like I said, man, the whole family aspect, we all became family. That's what it was. That's what Dodge City ended up being, a family. But you know what though? I think that's pretty much like every hood. Like, for instance, the boys' home that was in the hood, right? We didn't know none of them niggas, like family members and shit like that, because all them niggas was in boys' homes. You know what I mean? Like, those niggas started banging Dodge because they was down there. Like Reno and fucking what's this nigga's name? Smurf. Fucking, we used to call this other nigga Dome. All them niggas, they was all from Baby Mobsters, you know what I mean? But it was random niggas that came through and they got embraced behind how they fucked with the homies. You know what I mean? So yeah, we had outsiders, people that wasn't part of that tapestry, but they fell in line and shit, you know what I mean? And they rolled with us. But yeah, I got family. I got family in the hood. Not much, you know what I mean? Not comparison to everybody else. They got like fucking 15 family members and shit like that, but I ain't got that many. But you know, yeah, I got family from the hood. Yeah. Oh man, my bad. Yeah, TC, Heavy C, yeah. They from the hood too. TC and Heavy C was Baby Mobsters. And you know what? That's something. I didn't mention them like as Baby Mobsters when you asked me earlier about how many or the Baby Mobsters, blah blah this blah. I didn't mention them, right? But they weren't there at the start of Baby Mobsters. The niggas that I mentioned, they were there at the start. shit. By the time we got to while we were in high school, shit, the homie Tanner, he was killed. I mean, he was killed in between 2nd and 3rd Street over there behind Spyros. So, yeah, well, that's where he got shot. But I ain't saying no names, you know what I mean, on how it went down or nothing like that. But, you know, I wasn't there when it happened. But I heard the stories, and everybody ran up there with our heat, but it was too late. Oh, God. From the clique, it had to be Tanner. It had to be Tanner from our clique. After that, you know what? Honestly, and I know a lot of people are going to comment on this too. I don't know who passed away first. I think it was Oso. I think it was Oso next. I mean, honestly, you know what? I even forgot to mention the homeboy Fishhead, man. Not Fishhead, but Squid. Squid was a baby mobster too. He rest in peace, man. I don't know how I forgot about that nigga. That nigga came and picked me up in Dre's Lowrider at Gardena High School when I was funking with some niggas over there. That nigga came and scooped the nigga up like, nigga, I got you, nigga. I know you out there funking with these niggas, man. And yeah, that was a good look on him. You know what I mean? On him, real shit. That was a good look. But yeah, he got killed too. He got killed too, man. Like James Grace called a nigga blood. That nigga like was a solid ass, cool ass, good. He was a good heart, good soul, good honest. He was just a good ass nigga, man. He was never really violent like that out there, just tearing up shit. But he was just a good, solid ass nigga. That's another thing. Remember, I think you remember earlier when I mentioned, like, you know, some niggas, everybody has roles, you know what I mean, in the neighborhood. He was one of them niggas that you could always go holler at and go talk to. He had an old soul, you know what I mean? He was that nigga, you know what I mean? He was good. He was always here to give you some good advice, you know? But, yeah, I miss that nigga, man. Still got that nigga's name on my phone. Him, fucking, Devil. Devil was a Highland Crip, but he was a baby mobster too, you know. But he was really a Highland Crip. You know what I mean? That was another fucking faction of our neighborhood, you know. There was quite a few of them niggas, you know what I mean? But, you know, they were still Dodge City, if you ask me. Yeah. I went to Juvenile Hall. Shit, I went to Juvenile Hall, shit, a few times. Hold on. Yeah. I'm forgetting interruptions and shit. Yeah, man, I went to Juvenile Hall quite a few times, man. I went to, the main place they used to sit a motherfucker to was Los Padrinos for some odd ass reason. Like, I think Los Padrinos was probably farther than Central Juvenile Hall, but there was so much fucked up shit going on in Central Juvenile Hall. I'm glad I didn't even go there. There was motherfuckers getting molested by the motherfucking the guards and not even guards. I don't know what the fuck they called the motherfuckers back then, but whoever the fuck the motherfuckers was, they was getting molested by them. Bitches was in there getting raped and shit. Like, nigga, that was the weirdest. It was like I ain't gonna say a baby co-ed prison, but that place was crazier than fuck. I knew Big C-Dog before he went to jail, right? And we call him Big C-Dog, but there was actually a C-Dog before him. That was Chael. But Big C-Dog was bigger than him, you know what I mean? So he ended up being Big C-Dog. Rest in peace. But yeah, man, that was when I first kicked it with Big C-Dog. And I didn't even know he went to jail. I didn't know what the fuck was up with this nigga. The only thing I know is he was in the hood kicking it one day. I seen him at the high school before, and all of a sudden, you know, I see this nigga in jail. And then he get out not long after that. Like, what he have? He ended up copping a blue Cadillac, and he in the hood with all the homies. I'm like, God damn. You know what I mean? And plus, he ran with my big homies. Come to find out, he was barely even older than me. You know what I mean? But, you know, I was one of them young niggas that ran with older niggas, and he was the same way. Shit, as soon as I turned 18. Shit, I turned 18. That was my fucking, that was my introduction. I think I was like 4 months in, and I went to the county jail. Young nigga, like, running around there with all kind of fucking grown ass nigga. I'm in there selling candy and cigarettes and shit, trying to hustle, nigga. Well, you know, all bullshit aside, cuz I'm not like a lot of niggas, man. I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't want to go to the Crip module. Straight up. I didn't even want to go. I stayed on the main line. And 88, there was probably a couple of homies in there in the module, but I was like, I ain't fucking around in there, man. Them niggas is locked down all the time. Them niggas, they don't hustle the way we do. They don't get around. They don't go out the yard like we do. You know what I mean? They can't go to Wayside. You know what I mean? They can't do none of that shit. I was like, nigga, I ain't fucking with that shit, kid. I'm not fucking with it. What do you call them motherfuckers? The police that worked in, the deputies. Them niggas knew I was from Dodge City. But yeah, growing up and being a young nigga in the county, being in riots all the time, cause I used to go to court with fucking I ain't gonna say bandaged up knuckles because I didn't go to fucking infirmary. You got down and that's the fuck what happened. And then you go to court the next couple of days or whatever, and then sometimes you go into court with a fucking black eye because niggas, motherfuckers got off on you. You know what I mean? It's just shit that happens. You gotta stand your ground, take all fade, don't turn none down, and do what it do. No matter who they are, how big they are, they may be coming fresh out the pen. They come down there, nigga, 18 years old, nigga. You got to take that goddamn fade, nigga. That's it. That's all. Cause they ain't gonna respect you if you don't. Rest in peace, Crook. Well, you know it's crazy, cause me and Crook, we never really kicked it on the streets that much. You know what I mean? And I always had love for the nigga. It was funny, cause the most time we kicked it like solid together, we was in jail together. It was like a fucking probably like a week or whatever. It was me, him, and Crip Cal. I ended up falling up on them niggas, running across them niggas in the county, and I went in there. I had a store, so I'm telling these niggas like, y'all don't need shit, cause I got you, nigga. Y'all the G homies, nigga. I got you. What y'all want, nigga? Zoom, wham, whatever the fuck. I got you. And plus, I was on the streets getting money, so I was like, nigga, I could just have money sent up here. I could have somebody bring me some bread. It's nothing, nigga. It's nothing. Not saying they couldn't have had that shit, but what I am saying is, nigga, they was in there. Them niggas was in there grimy. Them niggas was being grimy. So, make a long story short, cause like week I was in there with them niggas. I don't know how many motherfuckers we robbed. We robbed a gang of niggas. I had a store, like I said. I had a store. I probably had about like $200 on me. But them niggas was in there robbing everything that came through that motherfucker. And they was not hustling shit. They wasn't selling nothing. They stole and consumed. Them niggas didn't give a fuck. Them niggas was on some real gangster shit. Start to finish, nigga. When I walked in that motherfucker, them niggas was gangstering everybody. And I was like shocked. Cause I knew my homies' reputations. I knew the big homies' reputations, but I never seen Crip Cal like that. You know what I mean? I seen Crip Cal in the hood. You know, I seen Crook in the hood. You know what I mean? I seen Crook chilling and shit. I never seen Crook out there doing crook shit. Like, he was a crook. That nigga's a real motherfucking crook, nigga. But, you know, like I say, the homie rest in peace. Because that was just his gangster, though, nigga. That was just his gangster, man. He didn't even prey on the weak. He was like, that nigga got something, I'm getting this nigga. And the homie was like, fuck it, let's get these niggas. And I was like, God damn, we gotta rob everybody that come through this motherfucker? Like, everybody that came through got robbed, nigga. Everybody that came through got robbed. But, yeah, that was how I knew Crook. Real shit. Like, that nigga B5. I mean, we called him B5. But we called him C5, but originally they called the nigga B5. But that nigga, man, that nigga was a solid ass nigga when we was in jail. When we was on the streets, he was just a cool nigga. But he was a solid ass nigga in jail. Man, I love that nigga, man. I love that nigga, man. Him, the big homie Crow. Every time I see Crow, I salute that nigga. You know what I mean? That nigga, he was the first nigga I seen flight a nigga in front of a gun tower, nigga with a motherfucking what he hit that nigga with he hit that nigga with a food tray. He beat that nigga something stupid in that motherfucking chow hall in front of the goddamn gun tower. I was like, this nigga is my G right here. This nigga is my motherfucking G homie. Like nigga, like he in his head he was like, I don't give a fuck if these motherfuckers start shooting. He said, I got to catch this fade on sight. Like, no bullshitting around. I was like, cuz, I love that nigga, man. I love that nigga, man. Well, you know what? Hey, it's crazy because in the 90s, like, I got locked up in 88. Well, I got locked up in 89. So when I got locked up, they gave me 5 years. So I got out in 92. It was like around the time of the riots and shit. Like when the riots jumped off, I was supposed to get paroled to a halfway house, and I couldn't. I had to wait till the riots died down because they were sending me to Long Beach to a place called Beach Haven off of Pacific. And Long Beach was tearing that shit the fuck up, so I didn't get out right then. So I had to wait until the riots ended before I was able to get out. So the 90s, I ended up, when I did go back down there, I was fucking around with Big Lobo and Lil Bob, because Lil Bob's my little cousin. You know what I mean? That nigga, him and Lobo was like real tight and shit. So I was hanging out with them niggas, and you know, like I said, that was my little cousin, and I was only fucking with my little cousin. So everybody else I fuck with, they my homies, and niggas know the stories. You know what I mean? I fuck with them, but I was just really trying to fuck with my little cousin. I wanted to keep that nigga head on right, so he don't do a lot of crazy shit that he was doing. But I ended up going to jail. Selling dope. I caught a case picking Lobo and Lil Bob, you know what I mean, picking them niggas up. I caught a dope case and a gun case. And then I bailed out, and then I caught another dope case and a gun case. And I ended up going to jail for another 5. So the 90s, I actually did in between, I did about like 8 years in the fucking 90s. So yeah, when you get to talking about the 90s and shit, well, I can tell you about shit that happened in jail, but I can't tell you too much about shit that happened on the streets, you know what I mean? I was at the party scenes a lot, you know what I mean? I really wasn't like, I didn't like to party like that. But I was at the party scene sometimes, you know what I mean? When all the homies was rolling, we rolled. We rolled at like Big John's halls and shit like that. I remember one time Boogaloo Shrimp went up there, and Nita might tell you. Remember I was talking about Steph and Sam Chicky, right? Not Chicky. What they used to call goddamn, what they used to call that nigga, man? Cookie. They used to call that nigga Cookie C. So anyway, make a long story short, this nigga, he wants to pop lock against fucking it was that nigga that was in Breaking. He was in Breaking. Michael Chambers, yeah, but what they call it, Boogaloo Shrimp. They used to call nigga Boogaloo Shrimp. Cause he called Boogaloo Shrimp out. He was eating that nigga up. Boogaloo Shrimp didn't want to get down. Yeah, man, it was like, that breakdancing, man, it opened up the doors for a lot of shit. Cause like niggas like KG was rapping and shit. Motherfucking A-Ski was rapping. The niggas from the Full Force crew, Lance and fuck, I forgot the homie name, man, but damn, what is his name? Anyway, it doesn't really matter right now. I'll get back to it in a minute. Them niggas was rapping. Moski, if I didn't mention Moski was in it with his crew. Yeah, man, we had a lot of niggas that was doing some shit, man, back in the days. We had a lot of niggas doing some shit. And all of that shit derived from breakdancing. I mean, like even Stephen Sam, for instance. You know what I mean? We used to call a nigga Chicky back in the days. That nigga was one of the hardest pop lockers / breakdancers. And I'm gonna give him his props. That nigga was hard as fuck. You know what I mean? That nigga actually was dancing in niggas' videos and shit like that, getting paid doing that shit. Yeah, but that nigga now, he got a little podcast, he got it popping, you know what I mean? And I respect that nigga game, you know what I mean? I respect his hustle. Oh, did I go to Leo's? Hell yeah, I used to go to Leo's when I was a fucking teenager. I had a fake ID. I had a auntie, fucking TC and Heavy C's mom. I forgot her fucking name. She was married in a family, right? Make a long story short, she worked at the DMV. She laced me with my first fake ID. Nigga, I used to be up in Leo's, 16 years old, nigga. That's when I was selling dope, right? Nigga, I used to be up in Leo's, nigga, buying drinks for everybody. My mom used to be up in that motherfucker. That's when I used to fuck with Mildred. You know what I mean? But make a long story short, I ain't trying to, you know, go there, right? But yeah, man, nigga, I used to be up in that motherfucker. Hey, all these drinks at this table on me. They like, who are you? 16-year-old nigga. I go straight to the bar, huh? Keep them coming. And the homegirl, the homeboy's mom, Betty, used to work up there. You know what I mean? I used to make sure she was tipped right. You know what I mean? I had love for Betty too. You know what I mean? That single mom. So yeah, man, I used to fuck with Leos all the time, man, all the time. Everybody always gave it up to the Tina girls, you know what I mean? CCYs, you know, fucking Adi Wadi, motherfucking John A, motherfucking they gave it up to all them. Everybody always give it up to all them as being like, you know, the first homegirls in the neighborhood. But there was homegirls out there before them, but they didn't say they were from a clique. They was just out there. They hung out. You know what I mean? And yeah, once they organized a clique, and then I remember when the CCY was running around with shirts that said CCY and all that shit, I was like, okay, these niggas the homegirls, you know what I mean? They acting like, you know, us now, you know what I mean? Shit, yeah, so when niggas talk about like, when niggas ask about like the homegirls and shit, there's a lot of chicks that really wasn't from those cliques like that. When I say like that, I mean like that. But them chicks was from the hood for the most. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Samaria. Yeah, she was murdered on the side of my building, man. She was my ex. She used to, I think she lived in Compton and shit before she came down. I didn't even know that she was part of the Pace family at first when I started fucking with her. And then I found out she was part of the Pace family. I was like, yo, that's that whole that woven tapestry shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was fucking with her, and then I didn't even know that she was part of that family. And then couldn't find out, she was telling me, yeah, you know, Sam Pace went to school with my mom. When I hit my mom up, I was like, oh shit, really? Like, and then Sam Pace and my mom was like always real cool in high school and shit. So I was like, God damn, it's a small world, you know. And my mom went to Banning, you know what I mean? So make a long story short, everybody knew one another back then, and how everything came together was like different. Like it was like on some real different shit. But yeah, man, we actually broke up. She wasn't my girl at that time. You know what I mean? We broke up, and she started doing her thing, man. What she was doing, I'm not bashing her. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to bash her. She wasn't doing life how I was doing life, you know? So yeah, man, hanging out late nights and shit, man. She ended up getting murdered on the side of the fucking building, man. It was some fucked up shit. But to this very day, cuz niggas, I don't even know who the fuck did it.
My ex was murdered on the side of my building, and I understand mortality, but there's you to kill my feelings.
Mercy, please, mercy, 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 please, Lord have mercy.
That's life, nigga.
Yeah, you know what? When I was growing up, they were deep, but they weren't really like deep, like out there like we was. You would regularly see a pack of 15 to 20 niggas from 2nd Street, Dodge City, Baby Mobsters, Tiny Lokes, Dodge City Youngsters. You would regularly see a pack of 20 of us, but you probably see a pack of 5 of them niggas. You know what I mean? And that's when they started forming gangs like fucking Santa Cruz. Really, 3rd Street was before Santa Cruz, and fucking what do you call it? S something other. It wasn't Santa Cruz. It was another fucking neighborhood they had. Anyway, to make a long story short, yeah, they was down there, and they were down there from the beginning to the end. Especially cats like Kiwi. You know what I mean? Kiwi's from Rancho. You know. But they ended up having about like 6 hoods, and you know what I mean. And they all basically fall under the Rancho umbrella, and I don't know. They probably say the same thing about us. All them niggas is Dodge City. You got the motherfucking 2nd Street Mob, Baby Mobsters, fucking DC Tiny Lokes, fucking Dodge City Youngsters, motherfucking all the young niggas. They say, oh yeah, you niggas got like fucking 13 hoods too, nigga. But those hoods all fall under the same umbrella, unlike these other motherfuckers was really trying to claim other hoods and had altogether kind of different tattoos on them. You know what I mean? But yeah, all of us, nigga, we all bang Dodge. It was just different parts of Dodge. And we own that shit. We came to hood functions, nigga, this is Dodge. That's it, that's all. Alright, the beef with Waterfront Pirus, in my eyes, because I went to all the schools that they went to, you know what I mean? I was actually raised around a lot of their homies and shit. Like Marquet, and you know, there's other niggas and shit, you know what I mean? Me and Marquet was actually locked up. You know, I got that nigga a fair squabble with some niggas from I forgot where they was from, but some niggas from LA. I got that nigga a fair one, you know what I mean? He knocked them niggas the fuck out. And make a long story short, cuz always respected a nigga and shit, you know what I mean? And then my sister was talking to one of them niggas too, you know, so they was kind of cool with me, you know what I mean? And then plus when my cousin Bubs, when his mom moved across the street from the projects, you know what I mean? They had their little run-ins, you know what I mean? We had our run-ins with them niggas, you know what I mean? But during that time, they didn't come through the hood busting all the time. It wasn't like that. Them niggas, it was like probably, I'm gonna say for probably about a month, we had funk with them, like real funk. But outside of that, it was like little small beefs. More so small beefs than anything, you know what I mean? So there's shit that happened, but like I said, that was like, you know, within like a little 1 month period, you know what I mean? I mean, it was probably longer than that, but we didn't have like no real major beef, because people like T-Tap is related to them niggas, like Lanny Tap, and I was always cool with Lanny Tap. Me and Lanny Tap ain't never had no issues. I went to elementary school with that nigga. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of them niggas, I'm telling you, a bunch of them niggas I was actually okay with. But because they banged a different neighborhood, you know, I just didn't fuck with them. But through Samoans, I ain't gonna lie, man, them niggas, they came up in 3 van loads, and they was with the shit.
What was they from?
They was from Scott Park. So yeah, we had like the world's coolest fight that night. You know what I mean? That was a fucking brawl. Like we was squabbling in between cars parked in a parking lot. We was doing all kinds of crazy ass shit. But yeah, it wasn't like we really had no real beef with them. We had less contact with them than we did Waterfronts. So that's like us saying, yeah, we Crips, right? And we had beef with neighborhood Pirus in Compton. No, we really didn't have beef with neighborhood Pirus in Compton. But if they ran across us and they was like, oh, who's them Crip niggas or whatever the fuck they say, you know what I mean? We gonna end up having beef at that moment. You know what I mean? Any random bloodhood, that's the way it was. But we didn't ever run across them niggas like that, so I can't even say. We did have beef with them before that, but we didn't have beef with them. You know what I'm saying? But at that moment, that's when our beef really kicked the fuck off, because there was a whole lot of lead flying behind that. Oh man, me and Willie Walnut was in the same class in not elementary school, but in junior high school in Fleming. I think it was 7th grade. I think it was 7th grade or 8th grade. We was in the same class. And Willie Walnut is like a true reputable out there. Now he rest in peace. But make a long story short, that's when I first heard about Harbor City Crips. I knew they existed, but I never seen one. To me, and this is no disrespect to them niggas, but to me, they were like the Loch Ness Monster. You heard about them, but I never seen them. You know what I mean? And then when I seen Cuz, I was like, oh, this nigga a cool ass nigga. I like this nigga, man. Cuz he was a rider though. You know what I mean? That nigga, he was like he could have been a baby monster. He wasn't turning down no fades at school. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like that nigga, man. Cuz he was like a solid ass nigga. Willie Walnut, he was a solid ass nigga. That was when I first heard of Harbor City Crips. Let me say that. Back in the days in the projects, the makeup was hella crazy because the makeup in the projects, it just wasn't like blacks and Mexicans. There was quite a few white people down there. There was dudes that was like other foreign countries type shit, but it was majority. I thought it was majority black because, you know, niggas hung out with the niggas, and that's what it was. You know what I mean? So that's what we did, and that's how we rolled. Yeah, the majority of San Pedro, like above Gaffey, yeah, it was more whites, Italians, motherfuckers from everywhere. Mediterranean motherfuckers was up there. Yeah, there was all kind of random ass people up there, and those are the people that I went to the high school with, as crazy as that may sound. Because, like, a lot of people from the projects was introduced to white people in the projects, but they were introduced to poor white people in the projects. Once they went to Dana Junior High School, Dotson, they started seeing a different breed of white people. They haven't even seen these motherfuckers. They were like looking at pandas when they are used to looking at brown bears. You know what I mean? They're all bears, right? But they were a different breed of bear. You know what I mean? And that's how, yeah, it was a different situation seeing white people that had money versus white people that grew up in the projects. And I remember there was a white motherfucking family, Jock. I hit that nigga in the head with a fucking a swing when we were growing up. Bust that nigga's head, but he wanted to fight me. You know what I mean? So I was like, shit. I was fighting him and I wasn't winning, so I had to do what I had to do. I hit that nigga with a goddamn swing. So, you know, shit happens. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't turn down no fades, and I ain't trying to lose. So, yeah, man, like, you know, he was older than me, but I just couldn't turn down no fade. You know what I mean? That was it. That's all. So yeah, man, make a long story short, there was a different breed of white people in the projects. You know what I mean? That nigga Danny Dickey was a baby monster, as a matter of fact. Danny Dickey that nigga was hard. He had squabbles and he wasn't turning down no phase neither. You know what I mean? He was raised like us in the projects. Like he was raised on the deuce. He was Lil Crip's next door neighbor. Like, you know, for Lil Crip to grow up the way he grew up and end up catching all that time and, you know what I mean, tattoos all over the face and shit. This is his fucking next door neighbor that grew up banging the same neighborhood. You know what was weird? I didn't see it as racism. I seen it as us being financially challenged and them motherfuckers being financially blessed. I didn't see it as racism because a lot of the homies was fucking them bitches and shit like that. Like the dudes played football with the homies. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't no real racism like that. Like one of the teachers that was a football coach was what was his name? Walsh. I forgot his first name. But Walsh was a white dude, and he was like way cool with all the black people that played football. Like he wanted me to be on the football team, but I was like, nigga, I'm banging, I'm not playing football, and I got kicked out. But anyway, the point is, nah, I really didn't see it like that. I didn't see the whole. There probably was racism, but it wasn't projected towards me. Luckily, you know what I mean. And I'm saying luckily because. When you're subjected to racism, it brings out a different type of evil in you. You know what I mean? Because you become a product of the racism. And the product of racism ends up becoming evil. You know what I mean? Or you become that person that wants to be, let's stop racism. And no, I don't believe in that shit. I'm not trying to stop racism, none of that shit. Because honestly, racism is what it is. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm black. Nigga, I want to be a black racist. Not like I'm like promoting like, you know, don't get it twisted. But I want to see all the niggas that surround me do good. Just like they want to see all the white people do good. I don't think that racism is an issue. You know, what I want to add to it, shit, when we see a lot of our little homies slash little cousins slash little brothers and shit like that coming up in the neighborhood, like niggas always tell them niggas that, you know, you can do better than us. Like whatever the last generation was, like when the big homies used to teach us how to sell dope, right? They wasn't teaching us how to sell dope. We literally just watched them niggas sell dope. So I think that my clique should have paid closer attention to the original Dodge City Crips, like Crip Cal and all them niggas like that. You know what I mean? Them niggas that was going in and out of fucking jail all the time. Big Dink. You know, I could just go on and fucking on. But all them niggas, like Clay, fucking all them niggas. We should have all paid more attention to those niggas, not just the niggas that was hustling and getting money. Because we were watching the niggas that was moving keys and shit like that. That was what we all wanted. Every clique wanted to have their Dre, Jack, and Said. Every clique wanted that, you know. So, yeah, I think that every generation should have taught the next generation better than what they've learned, or everything that they learned and more, because they watched us. They watched us. Every last one of us. Cop Time, KG, all them niggas. Cause, well, I ain't gonna say KG was a Dodge City youngster. You know what I mean? But there was a whole lot of them niggas that caught like fucking life sentences. A gang of them niggas. Like, that's something that motherfuckers should have taught y'all. Sometimes, you know, you see a lot of shit that happens, and you be happy that you made the better decision. You know what I mean? And some people, they just don't make good decisions. They get themselves put in fucked up situations. And because, like, when we as reputables, when we pass away, motherfuckers remember us not just for the good times, but they remember us for the bad times also, like the big homie twin. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about big twin, Leonard. But niggas ain't gonna never forget, cuz niggas that really knew him, them niggas had love for that nigga. Because they know that no matter what happened, cuz had they back. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's like, it's crazy how some motherfuckers just get forgot about. And it's not, they get forgot about because they didn't put in work, or because they didn't kick it in the hood that much, or whatever the fucking reason is. You know what I mean? It's just their ties with the people who are here now. Like, they didn't have solid ties with them niggas like that. They didn't do shit in their presence type shit. They didn't make those fucking, a lot of long-term memories. You know what I mean? They didn't do that shit. If they would have done that shit, then they would have been in people's lives. They would have had more of an impact. And I'm not saying niggas gotta go out and go do fucked up shit, but there's a lot of time when you can just do good shit, like Old Man Rob. Yeah, but Old Man Rob, always a good nigga. Always a good nigga. He was never the nigga that, like, pushing niggas or do no dumb shit. He was just a good nigga all the way around the board. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you got niggas like that too, you know? But yeah, a lot of times, man, people, they tend to forget the fallen soldiers, you know what I mean? Even the ones that wasn't soldiers, this is the fallen in general. They tend to forget the motherfuckers, man. And it's kind of fucked up, you know? Well, for me, it changed the second time I went to penitentiary. I didn't hang out that much. You know what I mean? I wasn't out there that much. You know, me personally, I got tired of having people shooting at me. Shit like that. You know what I mean? I got tired of, like, I started understanding the demographics of what's going on versus what people see and people think. Because I'm always gonna gangbang, but I'm not an active gangbanger. You know what I mean? I'm still representing my neighborhood, but I'm not gonna sit over here and be that nigga like out there just gangbang the fuck out every fucking day of the week, going down to the neighborhood, driving all the way down here from my lush environment, you know what I mean, to go bust somebody's fucking skull open. That's not what I'm doing. That is not what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, my dog is barking in the background. I think it's a good time to go and end it off right there, huh?
God City, 2nd Street, baby monsters about they cash, tiny lows, teen and girls, CCY the badass, stay giving money, colors, flat balls and Lolo, hitting switches on the juice, that's your nigga the dodo. God City, 2nd Street, baby monsters about they cash, tiny lows, teen and girls, CCY the badass.